Damn, Dave Chappelle, you just don't give a f***. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zach, and today we're going to be talking about Dave Chappelle's new stand-up, The Closer. Now, before I get into this review, I'm going to go ahead and preface this by saying, okay, it's comedy, all right? Everything is subjective, but this is more subjective than other things. You know, at least in writing, like in shows and in movies, you can kind of do a more objective take by just kind of explaining the story beats, if there's compelling characters and writing, but with comedy, the writing is all about if you think something is funny. So it's a lot more subjective. So if you think this stand-up's the best thing that you've ever seen in the world, if you think it's the worst thing you've ever seen in the world, it's all up to you. I'm just going to go ahead and give you my opinion on it. So anyways, you guys, Dave Chappelle during the stand-up said that this is going to be probably his last stand-up, or at least for a very long time. And because of that, you can tell he really didn't give a f*** in this stand-up in a good sort of way. He didn't hold any punches. You could tell he was trying to hit people right in the feelings and make people go, oh, that kind of hurt, but it was also kind of funny, so it's all right. Oh, give me a second. I could tell that he just didn't care. He was going to, you know, if it's going to be your last stand-up, or at least, you know, presumably it is, he didn't care about people's feelings. He really dug those punches in deep. I mean, he made fun of white people, he made fun of black people, he made fun of the coronavirus, he made fun of women, feminism, he made fun of Jewish people, he made fun of the LGBT community, the gay community, he made fun of pretty much everybody. The only group that I didn't see get made fun of was, like, Latinos. But other than that, he bitch slapped everybody in this. There was this one joke that honestly almost made me cry. He was comparing his white blood cells attacking the coronavirus, because he got corona, to how black folks were treating Asian people out in the street because of the coronavirus pandemic. And obviously there's a better, what would you call it, better delivery than the way I said it, but it is so fucking funny. It made me almost cry. It was great. He made fun of the LGBT community for about half the stand-up, and I think that's because of the controversy behind, it was either the stand-up that he did last or the one beforehand, where he got a lot of publicity and a lot of scrutiny for the way he talked about LGBT community and kind of the gay community in general. But I love the fact that Dave Chappelle isn't afraid of being canceled, especially because he, you know, everybody loves him. He's such a funny dude, and he has basically FU money at the moment, that he can basically say whatever he wants as long as it's funny. He's trying to be funny. He doesn't care about getting canceled. And I think we need that nowadays. I think because of how sensitive society is, I think somebody coming in and kind of mixing the pot and kind of, you know, kicking the beehive a little bit, kind of like how Bill Burr does, is actually kind of good for society at the moment. You know, as long as you're not being like super duper hateful towards people or just making fun of one group of people. I think if you're just going around slapping everybody, I think good on Dave Chappelle. I really enjoyed this special because he just didn't care. He was gonna hit everybody as hard as he wants, and I just love that. I love comedy that makes you go, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, it gives you that visceral, like, almost punch in the gut sort of feel. You're like, ooh, man, that was pretty spicy. Oh, damn, you know what I mean? It makes you feel a little uncomfortable. That uncomfortable feeling is kind of through this entire stand-up, where you're kind of a little bit uncomfortable what he says, but it makes the punch for his act, you know what I mean, a little sharper, and I think it was great, personally, for me. Now, the last quarter of his act, he ends up talking about kind of a sad, heartfelt story that doesn't have a lot of jokes involved. And it's very heartfelt, but you could perceive it in kind of a preachy sort of way. I didn't really see it that way. I think the message behind what he was trying to say was very good and very heartfelt, and it almost like needed to be said. But if you're just there for comedy, you're not going to really like the last quarter of his stand-up, because it is kind of more of a story and him explaining something that is kind of sad. And I don't know, when I go into comedy and when I go into stand-up, like to watch a stand-up, I am more in the mood for laughter. I'm not really in the mood for like a downer. You know what I mean? I'll watch other things for that. So personally for me, it could have been bad. I actually liked his messaging, so that's good. But I could see how it could put some other people off if they're just there for the comedy and they don't really care about a message or anything like that. So I can totally get behind people not liking that. But generally speaking, guys, if you like Dave Chappelle, you're probably gonna like the stand-up. He basically is the same Dave Chappelle that y'all know and love. If you don't like Dave Chappelle for whatever reason, you'll probably not like him in this either, you know, especially if you're part of that sensitive group, you know, or you're just a sensitive person. You probably won't like what he has to say. So for me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and give this stand-up an A. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do that YouTube business. And until next time, you guys, see ya! Hey, you made it to the end. That means you must enjoy my content, so go ahead and love tap that subscribe button for me. And if you don't like my content, subscribe anyways. My videos are proven to make your schlong longer. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for discussions and movie topics. And thank you so much for the support. You guys are awesome. See ya.